Homemade iced coffee, you complete me. So I just wanted to make a quick video clarifying some of the points that I made when I did the video about the realities of eye gouging. Some of my real life friends, I say real life compared to the online friends, but some of my real life friends saw the video and then they were a bit unclear about certain things, and generally the questions that I got asked by them were, but wait, isn't, this possible, or isn't, this thing possible? So let me clarify some points here. First of all, the one where I said that when people eye gouge someone, they believe that they're going to be able to pop the eyeballs under their socket. It is possible that that could happen, just highly unlikely. And as I did state, the current guy who's playing the Mountain in Game of Thrones, where I stated he might do it, but I didn't say it was impossible. I said I'd need to see it to believe it, unless he's eye gouging me, in which case I won't see shit. But as far as the fundamental law of physics go, if there is pressure going this way and there's no way for, the eyeball to go, then yeah, eventually it's going to crush. Just generally speaking, with someone's thumbs or fingers, this won't happen. But, like I said, there are extreme cases where this could be that case. But when I was doing this video, I'm talking about the general population, not every single person that exists or has existed or will exist. The other point was where I said where some people believe that if they curve their finger like this and hook in the eye socket, and then when they pull out that, they're going to rip out the person's eyeball. Now, I didn't say that you can never rip someone's eyeball out. I said using this method is unlikely. The other thing that I want to point out is I was referring to these particular individuals, and what I meant by that was that they believe that every single time they do this and then pull out, that the eyeball's going to come out. That will not happen every single time, as I demonstrated with the pig's head. And as I did state while I was doing that to the pig's head, I said this is what will generally happen. There also have been cases where people have ripped eyeballs out of their victims' sockets, and I can't imagine it would have been done as quickly as the way that it was presented in the Kill Bill movies. This probably would have been a much more slower and painful, gruesome process for their victims. So, here's my closing statement. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You, as an individual, need to ask yourself, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? If your strengths are something that would allow you to be able to crush a man's eyeball in his skull or completely tear it out, the next thing you need to ask yourself is it necessary on the situation that you get into? Because quite frankly, if you take your thumb or any of your fingers and just push someone's eyeball back into their socket about an inch, even half an inch, that's probably all you need to do the job. I mean, in most cases it's going to be completely unnecessary to rip someone's eyeball out, and all of the cases that I've heard of where someone did that, it was usually some arsehole, it was a domestic violence incident, and basically it was some sinister prick that didn't have a reason to do it to their victim. But, they did anyway because that's what pieces of shit do. But you, okay, keep in mind I'm here to talk about self-defense here. So in a self-defense situation, I can't really see it when it's going to be completely necessary, because if just simply taking your thumbs or fingers and pushing their eyeballs back in their socket doesn't do the trick, I can't imagine that tearing their eyeball completely from the socket is going to be something that would be considered necessary, considering, one, it's going to take longer, and two, if pushing their eyeballs back into their socket isn't going to be stopping them. First of all, it's probably still going to take away their vision, but if they're continuing the onslaught, it's probably because they can't feel any pain. So tearing the eyeball from the socket, they're not going to feel the pain anyway, so, why bother? But anyway, like I said, everything is circumstantial, everything always depends, but like I said, you'll know when you get into the situation. God forbid that ever happens, but if you do, like I said, if you're not strong enough to rip someone's eyeball from their socket and it's not possible, don't do it. Do something else. Anyway, those are my final thoughts. Hopefully I clarified some of the points that I may not have made completely clear, and if I didn't make them clear the first time around, I apologize. All in all though, stay safe. I figured while I was doing a video where I'm fixing points in a previous video that I should also throw in some bonus footage where I talk about something else I was able to fix, and that is the auto brightness feature of this camera. If you were paying attention, you may have noticed the last 5 or so videos that I uploaded didn't have the auto adjust feature, and that's because I found a way to lock the auto brightness in place, and I felt like such a fucking idiot when I found out how to do it because it was so simple. But anyway, if you have watched any of my previous videos, you may have seen me getting pissed off over the fact that the camera adjusted the brightness without my consent. The reason why it did that was because if I move further back, what happens is the camera tends to focus on things that are moving, and if I move closer to the camera, it adjusts the brightness around me. I don't know how well it's going to do it now, but if I move my hand here, if you notice pay attention to the background, you notice how it kind of keeps on going a bit brighter and a bit darker? Yeah, I guess maybe I've just positioned myself in the right area, but watch this. If I tap on the screen, it also adjusts the brightness as well. So if I tap here on my chest, it goes really bright. If I tap on my face again, it goes back to a setting which is more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So if I want to keep it this way, what I need to do is hold that spot for 2 seconds, which is what I'm doing now, and now I've locked it in place. And now I can move around all I want to, and it completely stays locked in place. And this is a great feature because I don't have to keep on going back to the camera and readjusting it. So anyway, yeah, from now on I'll be able to film videos without having to worry about brightness settings flailing around everywhere. It's great.